Highway Mountain was really about helping children appreciate their heritage, identity and connecting, and helping them build a sense of self and belonging. It was about using literature to fire imagination and creativity, and to give children an opportunity to innovate and create, therefore developing their identity as an artist in Wales. As a school, we've created a book-based curriculum. Books drive everything that we teach, and staff are becoming skilled at choosing books which have representation of the children. We analysed the books used in reception, and it was clear to see that there was not enough books being used which had characters or representation of children from the global majority, and even fewer books were used which were set in Wales or had Welsh characters. We just couldn't find any books at all which were set in Wales and showed diversity. And so it was this evidence that was really a starting point for the project. We needed traditional Welsh stories set in Wales where the illustrations represented our children. So to reiterate, why? Well, because there was a lack of children's picture books set in Wales, and there's a lack of diversity in children's books set in Wales, and our children are part of the global majority and Welsh. So when do they get to see somebody like them in the books that we read? They just don't. And the end goal was that we would then have a range of Welsh storybooks reflecting diversity that can be shared throughout the school. How it was set up and organised was that each class was given a book of Welsh folk tales and short stories, and they were to choose one that excited the children and focus on that and use that to drive the project. So in some of the older classes, they rewrote the story in sections, or they wrote the whole story again in their own words and twisted, changed some parts of it. Some classes lower down the school just imitated and used the text as it was. Some innovated it and just changed it slightly, and some invented completely new Welsh stories based on the original. We really wanted it to be inclusive. We wanted children of all abilities and all ages to get involved, so it was really what the teacher thought was appropriate. And we did lots of oral storytelling as well, telling stories of stories in Wales. So in some classes, the children worked in small groups and took on parts of the book. Some children worked independently to make bits to add into the story. It was really down to the teacher to make that decision, and also the children. There was a massive element of pupil voice, so the children got to say what they think would work best. There was music, dancing, 2D art, 3D art, a whole mixture of creativity. We wanted the project to be holistic and cross-curricular, and we believe that it covered outdoor learning, humanities, ICT, literacy, curriculum Cymraeg, expressive arts, and our own anti-racism agenda. So before the teachers were set off, they were asked to make sure that the art they produced represented the diversity in our classes, to choose a story that contained people, not just animals, otherwise you're not going to get that representation, and to discuss the lack of diversity in children's books in an age-appropriate way with the children, to talk about why we're doing this topic, and that our hope was to empower the children and to be the change. It was about trying to get children to be proud of Welsh and wherever else their heritage comes from, and to use and get out the skin-coloured pencils and paints and really talk about skin and skin colour, and to dress up and make props ready for the photographs to put in the book. So now we're going to show you a video of some of the children talking through the project and the books that they made. We'll start with year 6 and then we go down to the youngest children in reception.
We're from reception class and we made this book. I get a mess of paint. I like seeing myself in the story. Good. I like symmetrical butterflies. I love Welsh folk dancing. I like glitter and sparkles. That's me. That's me. We wrote a story about a Yemeni girl from Cardiff who moved and was going through her grandma's old things because her grandma had died, and she found some interesting things, and which then led to a tale about a dragon. So we translated the English to Arabic because it's we were confident using our own language to put on the front cover because it comes more natural to us.
We worked in groups of 6, each of us having a certain amount of pages, and we tried to focus on our own parts of the story as well as making it cohesive and flow well throughout. We discussed and explored the differences between religion and culture. Many Yemeni families, including the one in the story, follow the religion of Islam. Therefore, we added different Islamic features such as a mosque and a prayer mat.
I'm not from the same heritage as the girl in the story, so I didn't use as much Arabic terms as everyone else did. For example, in the text, on my part of the text, I wrote headscarf. Then after my teacher edited it to make it called hijab, then I learned now to call what I used to call headscarf now hijab.
That's lovely.
We really enjoyed being able to express ourselves using art and showcase our skills and flair. I'm proud of what I've created.
It's encouraging when reading a story and looking at a character that looks like me.
This project helped us feel a sense of belonging here in Wales and gave us a real connection with where we are at the moment. I am proud to be Yemeni and Welsh.
I'm proud to be Sudanese and Welsh. I'm proud to be Fijian and Welsh.
I'm proud to be Bengali and Welsh.